Alright, good morning guys. It's kind of windy out here. It's been tough finding opportunities to get out and do some fishing because it's been just really crappy weather, like just super windy. It got really cold, like early May was so warm, and now it's like windy and cold all the time. So thought I'd come up and try for some early shad. There's only about 2,000 going over the dam a day, but usually there's more stacked up below. It's kind of a fun little fishery. I'm going to catch some bait for some fall sturgeon fishing coming up. Going to have some friends from Old Town, Maine flying out. I'm going to hook them up with their first sturgeon, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to go out and catch some bait today. Have a little fun before the lightning gets here. It's been like thunderstorms in the gorge and in the Willamette Valley, so I'm going to mix things up today. A little bang fishing for shad. There we go. Got fish on. Alright. First one of the day. It's not an ultralight, so a little more sporty on a 5-pound test. It's a nice fish. I got a net just to make. Oh, he popped off right there at the bank. What a bummer. What a bummer. Well, that sucks. Lost my first fish of the day. I've been doing a lot this year on stuff. There we go. That one. There we go. Yeah, that's a nice fish. Take this one in the bank. I'm using just 5-pound test today on my braid main line and 4-pound leader, so keeping it sporty. That's a nice fish. Sometimes I net them, sometimes I just drag them up on the bank. I'll try to net this fish. Ooh. Oh, come on. There we go. Got one. Alright, first shad of the year. Nice. So this is an American shad. They are not native to the northwestern east coast species that was introduced out here. They're big fish. There we go. Nice. Hit that shad dart. That's a beauty. Okay, so what I'm using is pretty simple. I'm just using a 7.5 foot light Solilo rod here with 5-pound braid main line. This leads to a tri-swivel right there. I've got a little Stony River sinker on, and then a green and white shad dart, which is basically just a brass hook with a tiny little lead head on it, painted green and white, yellow and green. That's what I caught one on this morning, and you can use red and pink. It doesn't really matter. I guess some days it matters, but I really haven't fished shad enough to really know. So this fishery can be very easy, especially when there's large numbers. But figuring out the drift is really hard for beginners. It's still hard for me, like every day, because it changes all the time, the flow. So you basically want to cast out slightly upstream, do some kind of countdown, and then I just slow retrieve until I'm maybe like 1 or 2 ticks with the bottom, and then I bring it in. And it's usually right at the bottom of that swing, just as your gear starts to make contact with the bottom is when you get bit. But it's a very gear intensive fishery in that you'll lose a lot of stuff. It's really annoying, actually. So that's why it's like, as soon as you figure it out, then the river conditions change, and then you got to change your countdown or change your technique. There we go, got one. Right at the end of the drift. Right at the end, just as I started lifting up. That's much closer to the shore, so maybe that current pushed them up here a little bit tighter. Got it. All right. That's a good one. Some people do eat them, but I've tried it. It's just not for me. Maybe I haven't had it prepared properly, but some people smoke them, some people can them. They are really pretty, though. Their scales come off like crazy. Their mouth's actually pretty cool looking on the inside. Look at that. They got these little baleen in there for filtering out when they're in the ocean. Look at that. So see those forward-facing rakers? They can filter out food. Kind of cool looking. Slime bags though. Jeez. Oh, he melted all over. Spilt milk. At least the rocks are getting like perilously slippy, so at least fall and break a bone today, that'd be great. I don't mind the rain if I'm catching. I do mind the rain if I'm not catching. I'm a fair weather fisherman, but I am a hardcore catcherman. In other words, I'm much happier and more tolerable to be around when I'm actually catching. Oh, there's another one. Nice. Ooh, I got it dialed in now. Back-to-back fish. I'll take it. Woohoo! Back-to-backers. I dig that. This will be a nice one to fish whole for a giant sturgeon. So I'm doing about a 30 to 40 yard cast, and then I'm doing like a 4 to 5 second countdown. And then just slow reel. I'm gonna let it just tick the bottom, and then I lift up and kind of let it swing in. See if we can actually make something happen here. There we go. There's fish. Feels like a good one. Changed up to chartreuse just because I wasn't getting any bites on that pink and white anymore. First cast. Made it happen. So shad were actually introduced, I believe, in the Sacramento River area or San Francisco Bay Area, and then they spread north and colonized the Columbia later. There we go. There we go. Galton. Nice one. So yeah, they're a non-native species that go up and they spawn below these dams all on the Columbia. I think as far up as Tri-Cities area, and that's about as far as they go. There we go, got one. Right at the end of the drift. That's not uncommon. Just as you go to lift it up right at the end of the drift, you'll hook up. Oh, he popped. Dang it. That sucks. Keep losing them. There we go. That was a good hit. Felt him smash that. They have really hard mouths, so sometimes you don't get a good hook set, you'll lose quite a few. But if you get a good hook set, you get that thin wire hook driven through the mouth, you're probably gonna land them. Oh, I lost that one too. Cannot believe it. I'm on a bad roll here. 3 in a row. Surprised I lost that one. Hammered him. There we go. We can actually get this one in, so I've lost my last 3. They do put up a good fight, though. Alright, let's get this guy in the net. There we go, got him. Guess that guy wanted that one. Look at that thing buried deep in his throat. Wasn't gonna lose him. What a cool looking fish. Well guys, I think I'm gonna make this one my last one, or maybe a few more casts, but I had intended on leaving at around noon, but the bite was slow to get started, and then once it did, it's just been ridiculous, and I was having way too much fun to leave, so I think I'm gonna give it a little bit longer, but there's a lot of rain on the horizon, but get a few more casts and a few more fish. But I'll put links to the products I use below. If you have any questions, just hit me up, and I'll see you next time on the water. Just remember, fish smarter, not harder. Bye, guys.